the amendments to the budget, okay? And these are moved around to balance the budget, but they do everything we wanted to get done. First of all, you've increased, see what we got here. Let me read it. I trust you, Betty. All right, what we did, Betty, you want to explain what you did? You had it a lot more easier earlier.
Let's talk about the amendments first, if you would, for the current year's budget, okay?
Huh?
The current year's budget, we need to talk about the amendment to that. You have two sheets there, I hope. One is for FY '22 and the other is for FY '23 proposed budget. Do
Okay,
you see
22
those?
budget, not 23 budget, okay?
Right, on the '22 budget,
First page.
right. The changes that you see there is a net zero, and basically what has happened in our sanitation department, they had an overspend in their budget of about, well, we're projecting about $500,000, and that's because a lot of the vehicles, when they needed repairs, they couldn't get them done in-house, they had to be outsourced, so your cost is almost twice as much as it would be if we had had some mechanics in fleet management that could do that work. So we're taking $250,000 from the finance department's budget and $250,000 from building maintenance, because their budget, we're going to be under budget.
Okay.
Okay?
So that's good. Everybody
And
got a
that's
question?
because of vacancies there.
I understand. Everybody understand?
I do, but
First page. Yeah.
I got a question though.
Okay.
You said 500,000, but it's showing $1 million going in there. What's the other $500,000 going into sanitation?
Okay, well, you've got two lines there because, excuse me, where it says page 25, account 50724, that's the garage expense. We have to show it there, and we have to show that the total changed as well. It's not $1 million, it's 500,000.
But now when you look at the decreases though, did the decrease not equal up to
Yes, they add up to those same numbers.
$1 million?
You got,
That's why you have you see that little
Yeah, you
line
got
down at the bottom
250,
there? That's a zero.
you got 250, 150, and 100. So that'd be, yeah, it balances.
And we have to show the line item in the budget as well as the total
Okay.
in the budget, because those are the changes that will be made, and then we'll put it back on our website as to what it actually ended up being.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Second page.
Okay, on the 23 changes that you're looking at there, we increased the contingency fund by $90,000, which means that now each council member and the mayor will have a $40,000 each budget, okay? And so that budget is going from $310,000 to $400,000. And we have to do it by line item in the budget. That's why the numbers look like they do. So we're going to be showing a decrease in interfund transfers to pull that $90,000 over to the contingency line item in the budget. And you'll see the increase down there about 4 lines down. It says Mayor Council Contingency Fund.
Yes.
So you got a minus and a plus. And then we also have another $50,000 that has been asked to be put in the budget for the Montgomery Historical Society. You got a minus and a plus. That will be coming out of the interfund transfer line as well, decreasing it and increasing the new line item that was put in the budget for the Historical Society. You have $44,963 showing there in that line item. That is an increase to the City County Humane Society to get them up to $1 million in total. And you can see where the negative is at the very top. That's also an interfund transfer item as well. That will be decreased. And then for, let me see where I'm at here. We've got an increase to the Boys and Girls Club and also to Brentwood's Children's Home in the amount of $20,000 each. And that is coming from the Joint Charity Commission line item in the budget to get them down to 45 rather than 85, and then in the next year's proposed budget, they will be notified of the change completely, okay?
Okay.
So that's
Anybody got any
zero.
questions, Betty?
I just took care of
Everybody okay?
it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms.
Okay.
Betty.
Okay, we good?
Thank you, Betty. Good work.
Job well done.
Glenn,
Appreciate it.
Glenn, No question. You got your hand folded over there.
Good job, Miss Betty.
You're just so kind. I appreciate you more than you could ever know. Thank you.
That's the best word she's heard in a while.
Yes.
I'm gonna sleep good tonight.
You sleep good tonight, Betty. We're gonna make your life much better, okay? Thank you for what you did.
There's a lot of love in the room.
There you go. Willie Cook has been a lot here tonight. Okay, item number 2 on the agenda is, no, that's part of the deal. It's already, you got what you need. Good? Yes, you want to ask more questions? Yes, okay, good. All right.
Nobody got no questions.
All right, item number 2, fireworks ordinance. What you want to do, tear it over 4 more weeks? Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Number 3 is a rental event center, and this is on Mendel Parkway. I have not talked to the person that was, they didn't show up last week, did they? No. They didn't show, we carried it over. We'll talk to them tonight if they're here. There's a trash issue there, big time, that got all the neighbors upset. All right, number 4. Chris, you got something on number 4? This
do.
rebuild Alabama?
Yeah, each year we you basically use our paving plan as our rebuild Alabama allocation. So that gives us, you should have a list of all the proposed streets. Those are not set in stone. Obviously, we can have conversations as the year goes on, but that is what's posted in the city clerk's office. That is our plan going forward. So those are the streets that some that weren't done last year carry forward into the coming year, and it gives us broad discretion in terms of how we use that allocation.
Very good.
Just wait a while to ask you about these, because I got one I
Yeah,
definitely
yeah. I
want to
mean,
know about.
in terms of changing anything right now, it wouldn't necessarily need to happen at this meeting.
We need a motion on that, okay. All right, number 5.
Yes, Mr. Jenright.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Bell called me. I think that's actually in,
It's on
District-
Plantation.
yeah, Plantation Way. It's over
Brandon,
by Lagoon Park.
Yeah, that's Brandon.
She's in Mobile, and she couldn't be here, but she's gonna call in at 5 o'clock to talk with the council if we have any questions on it.
Okay,
now I talked to her as well. She said she was gonna send a representative down too.
Couldn't find one.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's
okay,
gonna call
good deal.
in.
Number 6. Alternate transportation service, we'll see when they come in at 5. Number 7. Unsafe structures. Number 8, the abatements, okay?
All right.
All right, we have 3 people want to talk to us on the non-agenda items. Ashley Gorham is here. Hey, Ashley. I can't imagine what you want to talk about. It says you want to talk about March of Dimes. You still want to do that?
Shocker, right?
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ashley Gorham with the March of Dimes. I know I've seen many of your faces several times before, so I hope everyone is doing well. I am here today to talk to y'all about our upcoming signature chefs auction, which will take place right up the road at the RSA Activity Center on Thursday, November 10th. It's bringing together some of our wonderful culinary talent in the community, and they will be putting together little appetizers, smaller, like taste little bite-sized portion of their talent and their art, really, for all of us to taste and enjoy. We currently have about 9 chefs confirmed. We hope to get about 10 to 12. So it is going to be a wonderful, tasteful event. We will have a silent auction, a live auction. We will also have an ambassador family up there speaking and sharing their story and asking for support as well. March of Dimes is truly leading the fight for the health of all moms and babies, and we are just doing our best to try to figure out how we can give each family the best possible start with research and advocacy and educating and everything. So I have little packets of information talking a little bit more in depth about the March of Dimes, as well as the save the date invitation for y'all, and I would appreciate your support.
Okay, thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Y'all, I went last year, sidebar, it was so much fun.
It is.
The food was delicious, and the ambassador that came to speak about her experience and how Marcia Dine helped her and her child. It was just really something to hear that story. So it's really a good cause.
I don't know anything
Really
about
a
this
good
stuff.
cause.
You know, my wife used to have that job.
Thank you.
Martha started off there with Marcia Dine, so I've heard the story. That's it, man, the kids, the baby stories are amazing, they really are. Thank you, Ashley. All right, Pat Clark. Montgomery County Historical Society.
Yes, thank you for having me and listening to me for a minute. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I did have a PowerPoint put together. I won't do it.
Okay, just do,
They're 3
you've
minutes.
been included in our budget today, so.
Okay, I appreciate that, and I appreciate the consideration from all of you. I don't know that you know much about Montgomery County Historical Society, everybody, but we have been around since 1992. We were originally part of Department of Archives and History, but they spun us off because as a county that they supported, we were too big. So as time went on, we managed to prevent the 5 Pickett house from being demolished, and we were able to bring it down the street. Oh, you do have the
We got
PowerPoint.
you going anyway, yeah, okay, we see who you, Richard
Thanks,
Bailey's
Randy.
on there, yeah.
Okay, yes. And so this is our board of directors. It has changed a little since then, but I won't go through all the introductions. Next slide.
Next,
Is he
okay,
with me?
that's the house.
Okay, this is our house now. It's been restored from when it was carried down the street. 2 more slides.
Okay.
That's our garden someday. We'll be restoring it using some ideas from the Auburn School.
You
But this
moved
is
it.
what our
Yeah.
building used to look like. Y'all may remember 1996 when it was CT's convenience store and it got moved down Court Street the weekend that they had the Olympic torch coming through town. So it was quite the event.
How old is that house, Pat?
It's 1837. It is the
1837.
oldest brick residence in Montgomery. So having preserved it was a good thing. And it's now located in an area that is rapidly growing. But one of its big pluses is that the bottom floor has these old tiles in it that were actually the original slate and marble tiles from the first Capitol that burned down. Because the builder of the house, John P. Fye, was also the builder of the second Capitol after the first one burned. And so he was able to salvage the floor from the first one, and he put it in the basement of his house. So that came with us. So we still have part of the old original Capitol, which is interesting. When they brought it down, they had to do an awful lot of work. This is moving on after a lot of work's been done, getting a new roof. And we were able to do that last year and the year before through a grant from the Historical Commission. But when the house was built, when it was brought down, it was Sherwin-Williams store, and it was painted that yellow up there. So you can't sandblast that old brick. So they had to paint it. Next one. Next slide, please. Anyway, they painted it the color of the grout, and then this blessed fellow went back in and repainted every little brick to try to make it match all over. So it is truly a work of art. Work is the operative word, probably.
I never knew
Anyway,
that.
so it has really been restored, and we believe that these are original enslaved African handmade bricks. They are artisans. This art is all over Montgomery, and you can see it in so many buildings that it needs to be celebrated, we believe. Well, we have taken the top floor and turned it into a house museum, celebrating all the uses that have been taken of this building. This is the main floor, we call it the big room, which faces Court Street. That was a Packard showroom at one time. It was the Barnes School at one time. And now we use it as an event meeting place that we want to be able to open up and share with the community, educational events, whatever you want to do. So we're working on getting it ready for that. It has event space, exhibit space, and we're working on that, and we will continue to do so. We also have outfitted the upper floor to commemorate some of the things that the house has been through. Can you go to the next one? And you can see going up the stairs there, that big old gun was the sign at the Todd Gun Store.
Oh, it's good, sir.
Y'all know it, I'm sure. And that kind of enters you into the hallway. Next. And then we have kind of the remnants of an attorney's office. What we have are things people have given us. It's just pure old collection. We don't go buy anything. It's sort of hand-me-downs, but it's fun to see old Montgomery at work here. Next one. We managed to recreate Miss Pickett's bedroom. The house was built by the Fies, but Albert Pickett, who was Alabama's first historian, bought it and was going to move into it, but he unfortunately died 2 weeks after they had bought the house. So his wife went ahead and moved into it, so we give her credit and gave her a bedroom. So seems like the right thing to do. It also moved along and became Barnes School, and we have commemorated that in one of the top rooms, showing all the variety of little desks that had been taken part in the school process there. Next one. There it is. And then if you move right across the hall, we've recreated a parlor music room. I'm moving fast here. Sorry about that. Yes, with a lot of the collections. But the biggest and best thing is the first floor, where we have, this is the ground floor. We took one big area and made it the Family Research Center, where the Genealogical Society has joined us. They brought all of their things. We've got all their old family Bibles, the irreplaceable digital work, you know, people's old family trees and old records, and all their expert people. And they're actually doing a workshop this Sunday at 3 o'clock, and if you're interested at all in genealogy and your family's ancestry, come join us. It's free, and I'll tell you, we've got some top-notch people to help you. The lady who's running this just recently got her PhD, and she's a licensed genealogist, so she really knows what she's doing. So she's working on helping us build that, and we want the rest of the community to take advantage of it. You may remember we worked really hard to try to keep the old First Presbyterian Church from being demolished. It's still there. Don't know what'll happen. We also worked with the city in a major project where they provided the IT database and the computer software that we were able to use to create a project where people could go out and help verify the records of everybody who's buried in Oakwood Cemetery. And since then, we've been able to share that process with a couple of other cemeteries that have then gone in and been able to do their own. So it's really been a fun project. It's involved a lot of people. Just a couple of weeks ago, Huntington brought 30 history students out to actually, they're going to work that project as part of learning their history and how to teach. So it's a really great thing. We also participated in the rededication of the historic marker down at the Lincoln Cemetery. Dr. Bailey is on our board, which is very, very handy and helpful. So he encourages us. One more. Then we also have worked with the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts and loaned, or they used the word lent, our big jug, the Mordecai jug, to them. So we, work within the community. But the big thing is we're actually not part of the Perry Street Historic District. We are located in it, but when it was set up, we were down there at Clayton and Moulton. So we're really not part of it. However, geographically, we are. And we're east of the National Peace and Justice Memorial. If you come on down, you got the Old Ship Church. You've got Mose T's house, which isn't a monument yet, but it probably should be. And we've got the Mothers of Gynecology exhibit and the Ludlow house. And then it's us. And then across the street is going to be Grove Court Apartments. And just recently, in the last 2 days, they tore down 2 big apartments right next to us. I don't know what's going there, but it looks good to me.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
At any rate, we are in a great location, and we want to grow and bring the public in and help them to appreciate what we can do for them. And that's basically why we want to raise money for an elevator.
Very good.
That's the elephant in the room.
Elevator room, okay.
Right. So we are hoping to put one on the back of the building. And so far we've had some very nice contributions. We're up to $104,000 donated so far. toward this probably $300,000 elevator. It's that because we're considered commercial. You know, there's nothing cheap anymore.
Well, thank you for coming to see us, and I think we...
Thank you, and I invite you all to our open house October 6th at 5 o'clock. Please come join us. You should have gotten an invitation.
Thank you for
in
what
the
you do.
mail.
Appreciate you. Evelyn Wilson, Evelyn Wilson.
Good afternoon, good
Hello.
evening. Good evening. Okay, my name is Evelyn Carr Wilson, and I am presently serving as president of the new South Montgomery Neighborhood Alliance. On behalf of the South Montgomery Neighborhood Alliance, I thank you all for allowing me to come and introduce the South Montgomery Alliance to you. It's been a work in progress since 2018, and we finally got melded together. Formation of an alliance of neighborhood associations in South Montgomery. It was done to discuss many issues that we may have. I'm getting off my notes. In 2018, Bonds, which is now known as Neighborhood Services, they facilitated an interest meeting where the communities in a certain designated area of South Montgomery got together to see if this was something that we wanted to do. And from that, we established the South Montgomery Neighborhood Alliance in February 2019. It took us a while to get our sea legs together. We finally did that, and now we're going forth with setting committees and beginning talks with our city councilmen. The Alliance provides the environment to exchange ideas, communicate between our associations, and the South Montgomery Neighborhood Alliance consists of 19 neighborhoods, and the boundaries begin, you could say, off Bell Road, Fairfield, across Troy Highway, Taylor Ridge, on over to Seth Johnson, and includes Abraham Vineyard. Those 19 areas, some of the communities, like other places in the city, their neighborhood associations are sort of slow. That's another purpose of the Alliance, is to lift each other up and to help neighborhood associations that are either inactive or need that assistance. Lastly, I would like to thank our two counselors, because South Montgomery Neighborhood Alliance, it crosses districts. It includes parts of District 5 and 6. And we were fortunate that Councilor Mitchell and Calhoun accepted an invitation to come to one of our meetings just to say hello, and we appreciate that. And lastly, I am going to be brief. In addition to giving thanks, I do have a few of our presidents and officers here, if you all would just stand, that are here. And we thank you all for your support and look for us again. And we look forward to a prosperous relationship with
Thanks
the
for what you
city.
do. Appreciate your
Thank you, Ms. Wilson.
concern.
Thank you guys for coming.
Okay. Council, I want to go into executive session. Chamber of Commerce got a piece of business they need to talk to us about. So I'd like to adjourn at this time to executive session.
What you're going to an executive session to consider
We're going in to consider
Economic development.
economic development?
economic development, yeah. Okay.
Ms. Bellinger?